Well, tomorrow is Workers' Day. Our reporters out and about around the country looking at how workers are coping, especially after a particularly tough year last year and now this year as well with COVID continuing. Let's go live now to Durban. My colleague Lethiwe Mdluli is there for us, taking a look at the situation in Durban and KZN. Lethiwe, morning to you. You've been speaking to public servants about some of the challenges they're facing. What have they been telling you?
Well, Gareth, a lot of workers that I've been speaking to are saying that there's nothing to celebrate this Workers' Day as their salaries have not increased in the past 2 years. They have raised some issues and some challenges that they are faced with, including shortages of staff, especially in hospitals around the province. I was speaking to nurses and they're saying that because their salaries are still the same, they haven't increased in the past 2 years, the cost of living has gone up and now they are relying mostly on borrowing money to keep afloat. We know that the country took a hit last year because of COVID-19. Our economy has not performed well, and businesses also closed down, especially here in the province. And as a result of that, a lot of workers were laid off, and because of that, some of the people are not able to survive. But speaking to the workers, this is what they had to say about some of the challenges that they are faced with currently.
It has been very, very difficult because since we have not received any salary increase for these past 2 years, myself, I'm a public servant, I'm a single parent, and as you know, us as Black society, you find that you're the only one who's working at home. So the grocery I buy is kind of in sustenance for the whole month. So everything has gone up, food, fuel. I take like 2 transports to work. So now I really cannot afford. I have to pay for my son's school transports. So everything is expensive, we can't afford, and it's very difficult. It's putting a strain on us. Even our working conditions now, we have staff shortages in all our government departments. So everything, and the society is blaming us for everything that is happening. So now we are stressed, we have burnout. At home, we can't even give love to our children because we are overworked at work, and we find that at home you are financially strained and you are always stressed. You can't even give love to your children.
Well, let's talk about the demands now. Lethiwe, what have the workers been saying?
Well, the workers I was speaking to fall under the Public Servants Association, and they are saying that they are demanding an increase of 7% or 8.5% from government so that they can basically afford to look after their families and afford some of the food, as we know that food prices have gone up. And they are saying that they are demanding for the government to up their wages, basically, because it's really hard to live under these conditions. While speaking to them, this is what they had to say.
As in now, we are understaffed. The shortage is too much. We're emotionally and physically drained. We can't take it anymore. Like, we're pushing ourselves. We're trying very much hard. So we're appealing with the government to go back to the negotiations table and bring the reasonable offer. Even financially, we are strained. Some of us are working far away from homes. They're taking maybe 2 or 3 transports to work. Others are renting places. The children need to go to school. The month's salary is not enough. We are stuck. Like, seriously, financially, we're drained. Every month after the payday, we go to the loan sharks. Like every month, we don't know how we're gonna survive for the next coming 3 years. Yes, we are grateful for the contract employees, the ones for COVID that were employed, but that was a drop in the ocean. Like, it did help, but they were too little. Like, the health system need more patients, like need more workers to be employed. Like, as the workload is too much for us. In order to, as an employer, to get a great product, you need to motivate your staff. So we really need the government to go back to the negotiation table and bring the reasonable offer so that we'll survive. The cost of living is too high.
Well, bring us a reaction to what the situation is regarding workers and pay increases in Durban for us is my colleague Lethiwe Mdluli. Back to her again later. in the day. My thanks to her. Now, let's take you to our reporter Aviwe Mtila. He visited the mining town of Carletonville earlier this morning, and he spoke to miners who are and the challenges they're facing every single day. Hello to you, Aviwe. What did the miners have to say about their situation regarding the last year or so, considering COVID-19? But we'll know, we've been reporting for years, haven't we, the struggles for miners and increases in salaries and also better working conditions.
Certainly, Gareth. They say that it's difficult to celebrate May Day, the 1st of May, especially having faced those challenges, some of them that you touched on. Of course, it's an industry that has saw a lot of blood lost in the front line, safety issues, but at the crux of their issues is the issue around the wages. You understand that they're the workers that break the meters down, going into the belly of these mines. Some of them that I saw today told me of some 500 rand that the unions are fighting for. NUM, you'd understand, is fighting for a decent living wage, saying that around 9,000 to 10,000 rand should be sufficient, while opposing union AMCU is saying that 12,500 rand should be the minimum living wage for these people that brave their lives, risk their lives essentially to go into the belly of the mines. There was also issues around the unions themselves, faces off between the employer and the employees. Some of the issues that I touched with the miners on the ground. Let's just listen in on that.
Management esinayo inombutho wayo ifuna bonke abasebenzi bajoyine umbutho wayo, so abasebenzi mabethuza umbutho abawuthandayo yasigxotha since nge-19 zikaMarch until today. Sakhutshwa emsebenzini ngendaba yokuthi sasifuna ukujoyina umbutho wemanagement, and the reason enza ukuthi umbutho wemanagement singawujoyini, usebenzela imanagement, awusebenzi imfuno zabasebenzi. Imali esiyirholayo incinci, umuntu usebenza ngumtshini operator, wheels driver urhole 5,000. Asina beneficiary, asina provident fund, asina pension fund, asitsalelwa tax, asina UIF.
As the women in mining, we have got some challenges that we have. We are here in numbers, but the problem is that when the retrenchment comes, they started with the women. They started with the women to retrench them. That's the problem that we are facing. And also under the construction that are working on the mines, they are not treated equally. As the agreement that was signed and also agreed on, when we are working on the mine for a certain time, they're supposed to take you and employ as the mine workers, but those things, they are not working at them.
Oh, that was Aviwe Mtila speaking to mine workers out in Carletonville this morning. You'll see as well, we're taking you around the country. We've been to Durban, we've taken you to Carletonville. Now, let's go to the bottom of our screen, down to Cape Town, as we cross over to Nobesuthu Hejana in Cape Town. Nobesuthu, hello to you. Tourism sector, of course, hard hit last year, and I'm sure local tourism is going to be the keystone in being able to try and get tourism back up and running, especially down in the beautiful part of the Cape area.
Well, certainly, Gareth. Now, I'm at the farm market here in Granger Bay, and this is what you would normally see in most of the farm markets during level 5 because of the lockdown, but we do here know at the Oran Zicht farm, they managed to keep open during level 5. But we want to find out from the co-owner of the place, Ms. Cheryl, how exactly did they manage to do that while many businesses were closed down due to the impact. Now, Cheryl, you managed to open. How was that possible?
Yeah, so during, we closed the market on March the 16th during level 5, and then I went to one of the supermarkets to do my shopping, and I saw that they were selling Coca-Cola. And then a light bulb went on. If they can sell Coca-Cola, why can't I sell cabbages from my 35 farmers who are growing and need to keep selling? Otherwise, people like us can't eat, and all our customers, and they can't make a living. So I went straight away to the police, and I went with safety documents. We drew up all our safety documents. And I asked them to please come to the market to check on all our processes and our systems and our safety protocols, and they said open. So we opened in level 5 on April the 25th. We were closed for 5 weeks only. We only did essentials, so there was no sitting here. And we managed to keep going that way. And then very quickly, once we went down to level 2, we opened more of the market and brought more of the traders. We have 80 traders, and we brought more of them back. And today, the market has survived so far. Touch wood, we never know what's going to come. But so far, we've been safe. No one here has ever got sick. And I think it's because it's outdoors, it's open air, and we are very careful. Everybody wears masks when they walk around here, over their nose and over their mouth, really properly. And I think, yeah, we've managed to stay alive.
Yeah. So how was that 4-week that you had to close down? Because for many businesses, they had to shut down permanently. Others are unable to still bounce back or recover. So what did that 4-week teach you?
Well, you know, that 4 weeks, we weren't completely closed. The market was closed, but we were doing orders for people. We were doing boxes for people. So we really had to find all kinds of new ways to earn a living so that we could keep paying our staff. And in fact, even at the end of last year, we paid a bonus to everybody. So not only did we survive, but we still paid bonuses. Okay, a couple of us didn't take salaries, the owners, but at the end of the day, we managed to keep everything going. And I think one learns resilience. One learns that business, you have to be flexible, and you have to be quick, and you have to learn to take advantage of opportunities that come your way, but also not to react too quickly. Because we realized this is our business. We didn't want to be in the logistics business of doing online. We wanted to be in experiential retail, which is what the Johannesburg City Farm Market is. And we've managed to survive for 6 years. And so we also knew, whilst we needed to be innovative, we also needed to focus on what we do well. And if you keep doing what you do well, people will come. And if people come, you can survive.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Gareth, that was Cheryl from the Johannesburg farm telling us about how they managed to keep afloat while many businesses did suffer during the level 5 or the hard lockdown. But they're saying that, you know, as some of the doors close, you learn different ways on how you can maneuver in ensuring that the business is still open. So they're saying that resilience is what kept them going.
Nobesuthu Hejana, thank you very much indeed. I think the word pivot is a word we've all become very familiar with over the last year. My thanks to Nobesuthu Hejana down in Cape Town, telling us about how the tourism sector was able to survive somewhat and is hoping to spring back. Also, Aviwe Mtila, he was out in Coltonville. Expect a full report from him. Thank you to you, Aviwe, and also Lethiwe Mdluli, who was speaking to PSA from the Public Service Association. We spoke about the public servants, also speaking about miners and tourism. We'll bring you all the angles, as we always do, here on ENCA.